Today is April 9th edition of Back Roads of Illinois. We were Central Illinois agriculture source and the agricultural industry in the Midwest alongside in Central Illinois. I am your host, Cesar Delgado, for today. Today's program, we have Aaron Putze from Iowa Soybean Association. We were talking about his state soybean organization and leadership. Second segment with Gray S. from the University of Illinois in Champaign. We were talking with him about farmlands value for Illinois. Tomorrow's show is going to be jam-packed. You don't want to miss this with Jim Sutton for U.S. Soybean Council and the University of Illinois Extension, Todd Gleason and Luke Crumley from Ohio Corn and Wheat Association. You don't want to miss tomorrow's program. This is your agricultural news and information about the agricultural industry in Central Illinois. This week is for the World Agricultural Supply and Demand Estimate report on this Friday at 11 o'clock Central Time from the Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C. The trader wanted to see the prices are in bull market for this report from the Department of Agriculture. The solar eclipse took place in the Midwest alongside in the Mississippi River Delta and the state of Texas. People were seeing it in Arkansas. Meanwhile, Southern Illinois University were in their path as well. Otherwise, the farmers is getting ready for this planting season because this weather is going to be very warm average part in the Midwest. The trade is showing that it will be held accountable for the prices. We are going to come back with Aaron Putze from Iowa Soybean Association and with Gary Schitnky from the University of Illinois in Urbana and Champaign. Stay tuned. We were joined with Aaron Putze from the Iowa Soybean Association in Central Iowa. How are you, Aaron? Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm doing well. It's hard to complain when it is close to 70 degrees here in Iowa. Things are greening up and farmers are getting ready to get started with plant 24.
Yes, I know what you mean. Let's start with our conversation on the Iowa Soybean Association. Could you tell our listeners about this organization?
I'd be happy to. The Iowa Soybean Association was founded 60 years ago, and we are driven to deliver opportunities for Iowa farmers, Iowa soybean farmers to be more competitive. We do that in the areas of demand building, so creating markets for Iowa soybeans and for U.S. soybeans. We do it in the area of productivity, helping farmers with agronomic and conservation-related activities on their acres to help them be more productive. We do it in the area of advocacy, so really representing farmers on policy and regulatory matters that help their farms flourish. Engagement is a big piece of what we do, communicating to both farmers and consumers and influencers the importance of agriculture. And then certainly also important is our work in the area of operations. So making sure that we are a highly efficient organization serving the needs of farmers and maximizing the investment that they make in the soybean checkoff. So the biofuels market is a critical one for agriculture and for Iowa soybean farmers. There's a lot of excitement in the area of energy and how agriculture can assist our country and really people around the world in living more sustainably and doing it in a way that's very conservation minded. Biofuels demand is continuing to increase. We, of course, would like to see the RFS numbers or the volume obligations higher via the EPA. But in the meantime, we do know that there are tremendous demand drivers out there, from renewable diesel to sustainable aviation fuel. We're excited about the progress that we're making in those areas and about the long-term future of the biofuels industry and what it could mean for driving more demand for soybeans and how that could improve and enhance the profitability of our farms. But there's a lot of work that is yet to be done in the area in terms of building those markets, building the infrastructure, developing the models that really benefit soy in a way that we think they should in terms of the carbon sequestration that a soybean production can take credit for. So work to be done, but obviously a lot of optimism in the biofuels arena and what it could mean for the individual soybean farmer.
Yes, but the EPA made the decision of the EV for last week.
Electric vehicles will always be part of the equation. We're for all of the above when it comes to energy and consumer choices and the opportunities for them to be able to take advantage of all of the above energy strategy. But we don't believe that it should be done or that one sector should be incentivized in a way that perhaps is detrimental to the liquid fuels industry. We believe that our energy source, in this case biodiesel, is ready to roll. It is good to drop in as a fuel, immediately decarbonizing and helping not only the consumer, but also organizations, companies, et cetera, meet and even exceed the goals that they have established for their long-term environmental sustainability. So we believe that giving consumers the choice, creating a level playing field is advantageous for everybody. And that is certainly the case for farmers, the green energy that they're growing and providing to consumers in a very cost-effective way and in a way that consumers want. So again, all of the above energy strategy, but one that also is advancing the progress of the renewable fuels industry, with soy biodiesel a big part of that. 96, that 6% of the world's population lives somewhere other than the United States. So trade, international market development has always been a focus for the Iowa Soybean Association and always will be. So China, number one global consumer of soy. Mexico is our second largest customer behind China for Iowa grown and for U.S. soybeans. We also are looking at many other countries that have been very strong and long trade partners for U.S. soybean farmers. That would include the Philippines, it would include Thailand, that would be Pakistan, that would be Egypt, Chile. We are always in the demand building mode, and it all begins with relationships. So our Iowa soybean farmers spend and invest a great deal of their time in meeting with our trading partners, not only traveling overseas, but also welcoming trading partners to their farms here in Iowa. Because when you look at everything that farmers do and the product that they provide and the way they grow that product, it still comes down to relationships. And it also comes down to our reliability as a producer of soy and the quality of our product. And we believe our quality of product is the best in the world. And so we sell and we market on those qualities. So quality, reliability, and availability. And those will always be our calling card, and they will always be a focus of ours as we continue to build demand around the world.
Yes, it will be great to trade in the world. Do you have any final thoughts on this planting season in Iowa?
Great question. It's that time of year that farmers get really excited. It's the growing season. Farmers want to produce, and so when spring gets here and they can be getting out into the field and doing what they love to do more than anything else, it just makes this an exciting time. There's opportunity, there's potential. Every growing season is sacred to our farmers because it's an opportunity and they don't take those opportunities for granted. I was visiting with a farmer the other day who is celebrating his 61st year of being able to grow a crop. And he's just extremely humbled by that opportunity. We've had some rain, which has helped build up or begin to rebuild some moisture there in the soil. We've been very dry for several years, so getting some precipitation, getting some moisture back in the ground is a great way to start. We've got warmer temperatures in the forecast. So I think farmers are ready to go. It's a little early yet. We're visiting here on April 9. So we won't be seeing wall-to-wall planting, but they'll be out there getting started, and they're looking forward to it, as are we here at the Iowa Soybean Association.
I'm ready for this planting season in north central Illinois as well. Thanks for coming, Aaron.
Thank you. Again, congratulations on your podcast. Thank you for all that you're doing to help communicate agriculture and soybean production. It's been a pleasure to visit.
All right.
Yes.
So let me start here. I'm assuming that you can hear me now and everything is good recording wise. Let me make sure that I have the right settings. Yep, we should have the right settings and it should be going perfectly good. All right, so Cesar, you asked me about on FarmDoc about our sources of farmland values, and there's several that we use. And many of these come out in the summer. One is USDA, which has their cropland values survey, which comes out in August. And then both Farm Credit and Purdue University, and as well as Iowa, come out with their values in August. So we're still waiting for those. Our most recent values come from the Illinois Society of Professional Farm Managers and Rural Appraisers, and they released their results in last month, March. Overall, what we continue to see was an increase in farmland values. They would suggest that those increased a bit, 2 to 3%, depending on where you're at. But overall, we've seen a large increase in farmland values since 2020. Over much of Illinois, those farmland values have increased by more than 50%. So that's been a large increase in farmland prices. A lot of that was driven by the increase in agricultural returns and cash rents over the past several years. So we saw a large increase in farmland prices over the last couple of years. We would expect those farmland values to stabilize, and there's a couple of things that are going on. One is farmland returns have come down, agricultural returns, and interest rates went up and are not coming down. Both of those would suggest that that there's going to be some downward pressure on farmland prices. We don't expect large declines, but we do expect some leveling off of farmland prices. So the second question, what percentage of crop insurance coverage for this year and last year? And so when we're looking at crop insurance coverages, we have to remember that most people take revenue protection, RP, and they take that pretty much at high coverage levels. And so in 2024, we saw close to 90% of the acres insured, and most of those were insured with high coverage levels, RP policies. In central and northern Illinois, those tend to be 80 and 85%. In southern Illinois, they tend to be less, so 75 to 80%. And that just has to do with the cost of the insurance. We have not seen a lot of change in the underlying policy. We have heard quite a bit of interest in add-on policies, ECO, enhanced coverage option, and SCO, supplemental coverage option. We don't have statistics yet to know how much of those policies were purchased. We'll know that for much closer in July when the acreage reports are finalized or sent into RMA. Part of the reason why those might have gone up is because of the lower prices and because SCO and ECO did make payments or are expected to make payments for the 2024 years. So the next question is, acreage report came out, and what we saw from 2023 to 2024 is a reduction in corn acres and an increase in soybean acres overall. And that is what I would have expected going into the report. What we saw was, or when we look at our budgets, corn is projected to be less profitable than soybeans. Overall in Illinois, we don't see much change. We see a couple 100,000 acres of reduction in corn and about that much in soybeans. But over the whole entire nation, there is a reduction in corn acres. Again, given where we see prices going, that is to be expected. And so that is where we will see those things to be expected. So, will farmers get ARC and PLC this year? No, not likely. There, in each October is when ARC and PLC payments are made. Right now, we're making those for the 2023 year, and we're waiting for the market year average prices. It doesn't look to me like either corn, soybeans, or wheat, the market year average price will be below their reference prices. So we don't expect payments on those products. We also don't expect payments on ARC, and that's largely due to pretty good yields across most of the states. So we're not expecting payments on either ARC or PLC in most counties. There may be a stray couple counties that get ARC payments. For this year, we'll have to wait till October 2025 to make payments, and there is a much higher chance of payments for ARC and PLC for the 2024 year, but again, we're just beginning of those. Finally, do you have any final thoughts on the land values in Illinois? I would just simply indicate that we've seen a large increase in land prices. And I think what we're looking at for 25, 24, and 25 are sort of a analogous period to 2014 and 2015. We saw large land prices increase up through 2012. Then prices for commodities fell, and we saw land prices level off and decline slightly. I would expect the same thing for land prices. Are now leveling off in 2024, 2025, and there may even be some declines. We'll have to wait and see what those look like. But that is where we are at today.
Thanks for coming, Gary.
Cesar, that's about all I have to say.
This is Gary Schitnky from the University of Illinois. Welcome back to the show. Thanks to Aaron Potts and Gary Schitnky from the University of Illinois in Urbana and Champaign. We were going to talk with Todd Gleason from the University of Illinois Extension for tomorrow. We could ask him about the supply and demand estimate for soybeans in Brazil from farm to couple weeks. The planting season is upon us, but the markets are down and out to the puts and demand. I mentioned before, if I were a trader in Chicago, I will be buying a new contract from a farmer. I will buy corn and beans basis for my sake because some trader don't just get in it with the farm. Well, folks, there's our show for today. Thanks to listen. For Back Roads of Illinois, I am Cesar Delgado. Have a good day.